Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. I'm the Monk and today we are in Tortuga, A Pirate's Tale. This video is a beginner's guide video. I'm going to go through a few different things that I think are going to be helpful to know when you're very first starting out. This game does have a tutorial and it does a pretty good job of actually explaining things to you. However, certain things can be very easily overlooked and therefore I figured a beginner's guide video may do the trick and help some people out. If it does, let me know down in the comments. If I forget anything or don't go over anything in enough detail, let me know down in the comments. I'll do my very best to either explain it in the comments, direct you to my Discord, which there is a link to down in the description, or maybe even make another video on that subject that you have raised. And of course, if you do find this video helpful or entertaining, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So the first thing we're going to talk about is exploration. Now, when you already first look at the map, certain few locations are already present for you. However, did you know that as you explore, as you navigate the world, the blank map will start to fill in? So don't think you have to, hover around where you started and it looks like just a void of emptiness as you wait for missions to kind of click in. Those locations are there. All you have to do is go out and find them. And exploration will mean, it's very, very useful within this game. So like I said, don't be afraid to actually explore this map and seek out those new locations. Now let's go over perhaps one of the most important management systems you're going to have to get your head around in this game. That is morale and crew management. A good, positive morale means that your crew like you all get on well and you can be out at sea for longer. A low morale, and losing that morale fast could make the difference between you sailing the sea and you walking the plank. Now, one of the things we have to help our morale is by making sure that they are well fed. They've got to make sure that they eat grain, bread, have booze to drink, have fruit to eat. All these different things are going to impact just how much morale they have per day. And the game does a really good job of showing you what your difference is going to be. So what you're giving them, in regards to how that's affecting their morale, what their negative morale per day is going to be, and then how much plus or minus morale per day given the things that you've implemented are going to change. Now, the game already pre-selects a few different things for, to keep your crew happy. But as you progress through this game, you're going to collect more and more goods. Now, you have the ability as the captain to decide what the crew can benefit from. So anytime you have surplus of something within the ship, you can opt to give it to your crew. Now, while all this is definitely beneficial, what's going to matter the most really is going to be the promises that you make. Now, of course, you have to divide your booty and, the share of gold is going to help your crew be very happy. But after that, you're going to have to make certain promises to them as to why they should come out and sail for you once again. Now, if you make a load of promises that you cannot keep, they are not going to be happy with you. These are promises that you definitely want to make sure that you keep. So pick ones that you think are actually achievable. Now, I understand if you only just started the game that maybe you don't know what's achievable, what's not achievable. Just do your best to pick wise, smart decisions because it's going to seriously impact your game if you don't. Now, as we were just looking inside our cargo, I think it'd be another really good idea to point out another feature the game does. That's right, it tells you how much something is worth. It also tells you the highest price you're able to sell that item for, given the knowledge you have. So the more ports you visit, the more frequently you visit them, the better the information you're going to have. So if you want to be a trader and not a pirate, or if you just want to make a quick buck and you have a surplus of a particular item, you can look it up and see exactly where you're going to sell it for the most amount of money. Trading can also be used for a few different things. As well as earning money, it's going to be important for missions and, of course, your old secret hideout. So paying attention and learning your way around these different screens is going to be important. Okay, so let's talk about combat. Combat is going to play a massive role in your life while playing Tortuga. It's going to be ship-to-ship combat, and it's going to be playing on a hexagon grid. Now, this is a turn-based game. None of this should be any surprise to you guys at all, but I figured I'd go over a little bit about it. Now, as you level up and progress through the game, you're going to acquire more and more perks. Your ships are going to be able to do a few really interesting and helpful things. You can get different perks to help you board ships better. You can get different perks to help you chase down ships better. And of course, you can also upgrade your ships to have bigger and better and badder cannons. These cannons can be for both close range and long range as well. So there's going to be plenty for you to be getting your hands on, and plenty for you to be understanding as time goes on. However, at the beginning of the game, I think it's important to go over a couple of different things. Now, wind is going to play a massive role. And depending on how fast you're going, depending on the wind direction, that's going to enable you to move further on the battlefield. Now, as you can see, my ship is lighting up the seas in both directions. These are my cannon ports. And as you can see, the ship that I'm targeting is in the most colored in hexagon grid. In other words, that's got the most coverage. Now, what this means inside Tortuga is that that's where I've got the greatest chance to actually hit and land my shots. Now, that's not saying that's gonna guaranteed to do the most damage. It's not saying that's going to definitely give you a crit shot. What that means is that's your highest percentage chance to actually land that hit. Now, in this battle, I have two ships against one. So what I'm trying to do is enable my two ships and my fleet to work together and target the same side, the same part of the ship that I'm attacking. Now, as we see, we have two different bars. The top bar is armor. The bottom bar is the hull of the ship. Once you get rid of a segment of armor, so the side armor or the front or the back armor, for instance, then if you land a direct hit, you will be taking away hull points. You reduce the hull points to 0, and that ship is sunk. However, you reduce that armor to 0 as well. That's when you can then use, for instance, grape shots, which would deliberately target crew members of that ship. The fewer the crew members alive on the ship means the easier it is for you to board. And of course, boarding the ships are the only way for you to actually capture and acquire new ships. Now, earlier I mentioned how there are perks and there are ship upgrades that enable you to have an easier time at boarding the other ships. I would strongly recommend, seeking out those perks, seeking out those upgrades, because boarding those ships are going to play a big role within your game. One thing to note or to think about when it comes to boarding ship, and so you don't just take on a ship that's like massively out of your capabilities, is crew numbers. So if you're up against a ship that can hold 150, 200, 300 crew members, and you're still in a ship with only 50 crew members, then perhaps you're not going to be able to win this, and in fact you could end up losing your own ship even trying it. So have a think about that. Also, if you get two ships to board, or 3 4 ships to board the same ship at a time. This will help and strengthen your chances of actually winning that boarding. And of course, once you have acquired the ship, you can then swap in and out between your captains who gets which ship. Now, if you successfully manage to board a pirate ship and win a pirate battle, then they will reveal the location of their hideout. Yes, that's right, you can acquire pirate hideouts within this game. Not only can you acquire those pirate hideouts, but you can also upgrade them and make them your ultimate kind of, home away from home. One of the biggest things about this is not only can you have the one, but you can have multiple across the map, and you can fast travel from point to point location. This is extremely handy considering the map is actually quite big and it can take you a fair amount of time to travel from A to B. So keep a lookout for these rarer supplies that you can then use to upgrade your own hideout. Now, having a hideout isn't essential. However, you can have one from extremely early inside the game. So, keep that in mind. Now, I think it's a good idea to spend some time in talking about missions as well. Now, this game has a variety of different missions available to you. But when you very first start out, your main mission, your campaign mission, is probably the one that I would pay close attention to after completing the tutorial, because it's that campaign mission that goes over the bare basics. Now, you can pick up faction missions, which can be really important when recruiting extra captains. You can also pick up captain missions. So if you already have a captain, he has a, or she has a unique story for you to go over as well. And if you're wondering how to get faction related missions so you can, become more friendly with Spain or England, for instance, all you have to do is go ahead to one of the docks, one of the harbors, and the very first tab is going to be the governor's office. Here it will give you the information about, what that nation actually feels about you, and give you the option to take on various different missions, remembering that every harbor within the game will be able to give you different missions. So pay close attention to the skulls, the number of skulls on the icon. If it's too many, if you're at the beginning of the game, 1, 2, maybe even 3, if it's a goods mission, absolutely go for it. If it's anything more than that, maybe just avoid it until you get a little bit further into the game. Okay, so I've spoken about upgrading your ship a few times in this video. You do so at the harbor, at the towns, and different harbors, different towns have different abilities. Some can upgrade your cannons, some can upgrade your rigging, some can upgrade your hull, and some you can only fix your ship. So don't expect to find everything available within this game under one town. It's not going to happen, unfortunately. And if you're wondering how to unlock bigger and better gear, as you can see here, I've got sails and rigging 2, which is grayed out. Well, all you have to do in order to unlock that is to have a better relation with the faction that town belongs to. Now, don't worry, you don't have to remember what town has what available to it when it comes to ship upgrades, because if you open your map and switch your map around, you can actually see exactly the locations you've managed to unlock to see what does what and where. Now, I've already had people in the comments asking about how to unlock more ship captains, exactly what I need to do in order to do that. As you can see, it says you need to be a higher level in order to acquire or be able to lead more ship captains, but every ship captain within the game has their own unique set of missions or things that they would require you to complete in order to allow them to join you. For instance, Jacob Forb needs you to have a better relation with England in order to allow him to join you. Other people other pirate captains will have its own unique set of abilities. Like for instance, another one that requires you to destroy 10 French convoys. Now, I've mentioned abilities and perks a few times within this video. Once you divide your booty, you will be given all the experience that you have collected. That will give you your levels, but after that, that's obviously when you make your promises as well. Just before then, any slots that you've kind of like opened up, you'll be able to then select a brand new ability. I'm going to be releasing another video talking about abilities more extensively, but have a little look see around because there's some seriously decent abilities here that can help your game and make it a lot easier. And I believe that's about everything, at least for now. That's everything that I can think of to talk about what maybe you need to know before starting this game. Hopefully it's helped you. Hopefully you've learned something. Maybe you just found it entertaining. Once again, guys, if I didn't go over anything in enough detail, or you want another video on a particular subject that maybe I just didn't even mention, let me know down in the comments. We'll be very happy to help you guys out. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We do have an active Discord. The link for that is down in the description. You want to join, chat about this game, chat about any other game that you happen to enjoy, the link's there. Feel free. It'd be good to see you inside the Discord. But until next time, I've been a monk, we've been Critically Clueless, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy and happy gaming.